It's Master Cleveland again with Classic Taekwondo, and I'll start off with apologizing for being away so long. I was sick for about 2 weeks. It turns out I had pneumonia, so I really wasn't able to do a whole lot of anything. But I recently put out a video called the Modified Knife Form. Now, as far as that goes, I did a form before that, which was the more traditional pattern known as the Dan Ganyong, which I learned in my brief time training in Tang Sudo. There were certain things I saw in the form when I learned it that kind of made me kind of shy away from it. But then when I began studying the Filipino arts, I began to notice that there were certain things that instead of shying away from it, maybe alter it, make it a little bit more what I consider to be a bit more practical. I'm not knocking what the founder, designer of that original form said, or put together, but there were just some things I felt weren't so natural in terms of movements. And my next video is going to focus on, I'm probably going to take elements of the original form and then my modifications and explain the why. Because I figure with, as I've said before, if you're not explaining why movements exist or why movements are done in forms, you're only teaching half the story, and people will very quickly get confused or disillusioned. A lot of people say straight up, it's like, I don't want to have anything to do with forms, kata, things like that. And a lot of that is because they're not shown why. The whole purpose of me calling it classic Taekwondo is, yes, it's the old methods, but it's the old methods with the understanding that you know why movements are done. It's not just do as I say. It's like, this is why this works. This is why this is done. Hopefully I'm communicating that well. Few people have communicated to me that there's certain things that they liked and certain things they didn't like, and that's fine. But my intention for this is to basically explain why by demonstrating. As I've said in a previous video, I start to wear the black uniform a little bit more. It's not for any purpose except just to say, okay, well, these are the patterns that I intend to use for when I teach. And when I teach a person forms, in the beginning, they're learning how to do it. As they progress, say, from into the green belt level, they start learning why movements are the way they are. By the time you're a brown, red belt, you understand why the movements are what they are. And by black belt, by that time, you should know why. It shouldn't be just that. You understand the basics of a movement, but the thing is, you understand why those basics are there. And if I'm helping anyone to understand that, then I figure then I'm doing an okay job, a good job. At least that's my intention. But what you're going to see in the future is you're going to see some forms that I did previously, but I'm going to break them down a little bit more. I'm not going to do this with all of them. As I said in the previous video, there are a number of forms that I'm going to use for my program. I'm not going to use all of them because that's a lot of material. I'm not saying people can't learn that. It's just the thing is, you give them enough to understand. And then, there's a set program and you go with that set program. It's basically going to contain the Kiban forms, those first 5, the Kicho forms, the Pyongan forms, all 5 of those, Basai, the 3 Nanchi / Chogi forms. From the ITF, you'll see Pone. You might see Chungjang, Kodang. That covers second degree. And then, of course, you might see Yusin, maybe some ill. I'm only taking a few forms from the ITF, and mainly at the black belt level, because, as I said previously, if I was to do both sets, that's a lot of material for a beginner student, intermediate student, moving into the advanced. At black belt, yes, you have an understanding and you have a little bit more endurance, but in the beginning, you want to keep it as basic as possible. And that's what I intend to do. Those that have any questions, by all means, like I said, my page is open. You could send out your questions. If you're going to come with criticisms, as some have, that's fine too, because not everybody's going to like everything. And to be honest, you're going to get criticism no matter what you do. I'm old enough, been around long enough, and I'm fine with it. But for those who are going to criticize, my question to you is, do you practice? Because if you don't, you're just making noise. If you do, offer up a solution. That's all I have to say on that. I'm not going to get mad, just offer up a solution. And with that being said, more to come. If you like what you see, by all means, put up a like, subscribe. Also, one other thing is, in future, there will be some merch that I'm putting up, some t-shirts. I'll show you what those look like. And like I said, more to come.